A shattered glass ceiling, the crime scene. The silence of the night was shattered. Sirens wailed, their echoes bouncing off the skyscrapers of Manhattan. It was a scene ripped from a thriller, yet it was all too real. The sleek, modern office building, a symbol of power and success, was now a crime scene. On the polished marble floor of his own office lay Brian Thompson, CEO of Thompson Investments, lifeless. A single gunshot wound marred his temple, a stark contrast to the opulence surrounding him. Splinters of glass from the shattered window glinted under the harsh glare of the forensic lights. Outside, the city that never sleeps seemed to hold its breath, the magnitude of the crime sending shockwaves through its concrete veins. Whispers of who could have done this and why hung heavy in the air. The answer, as investigators would soon discover, lay hidden in the shadows of ambition, envy and despair. The date was December 17th, 2024. It was a night that would forever be etched in the annals of New York City's history, a night that marked the fall of a titan and the unraveling of a seemingly ordinary man's sanity. The question wasn't just who killed Brian Thompson, but what drove them to such a desperate act. Brian Thompson was more than just a CEO. He was an institution. His name was synonymous with success, his face a regular feature on the covers of Forbes and Fortune. He was the epitome of the American dream, a self-made billionaire who had built his empire from the ground up. Thompson's journey began modestly in the suburbs of Chicago. He graduated top of his class at Northwestern University, his ambition burning bright. He rose quickly through the ranks of Wall Street, his sharp intellect and ruthless business acumen earning him both admiration and envy. In his 40s, he founded Thompson Investments, a venture capital firm that soon became a global powerhouse. Thompson was known for his unwavering determination, his relentless pursuit of excellence, and his almost uncanny ability to predict market trends. But behind the facade of the corporate titan was a man of simple tastes. He was a devoted husband and a loving father of two. He was also a generous philanthropist, supporting causes close to his heart. His murder sent shockwaves through the financial world and beyond, leaving a void that would be impossible to fill. The world was shocked when the name Luigi Mangione surfaced in connection with the murder of Brian Thompson. Mangione was an unlikely suspect. He was a brilliant software engineer, a graduate of MIT, and a rising star in Silicon Valley. He had no criminal record, no history of violence, and no obvious connection to the victim. Born to Italian immigrant parents, Mangione was raised in a working-class neighborhood in Brooklyn. He was a bright and curious child, excelling in academics and showing a natural aptitude for mathematics and computer science. He secured a full scholarship to MIT, where he graduated summa cum laude. He was recruited by a prestigious tech firm straight out of college, where he quickly made a name for himself with his innovative ideas and exceptional coding skills. Mangione had it all, a promising career, a loving girlfriend, and a bright future ahead of him. Yet somewhere along the way, something went terribly wrong. The seemingly perfect life he had built began to crumble, leading him down a dark and twisted path that culminated in an act of unimaginable violence. The investigation into the murder of Brian Thompson was a complex and meticulous process. The NYPD, working in conjunction with the FBI, meticulously combed through the crime scene, gathering evidence and interviewing potential witnesses. The lack of forced entry initially pointed towards a crime of passion, a personal vendetta against Thompson. However, the investigation took a sharp turn when security footage revealed a masked figure entering the building just hours before the murder. Facial recognition software provided a match: Luigi Mangione. Further investigation revealed a series of damning digital footprints. Mangione had purchased the murder weapon online, a .38 caliber revolver, using a fake ID. His internet search history showed a disturbing trend, with searches for how to kill someone instantly, best untraceable gun, and Brian Thompson's address. The evidence was overwhelming. Luigi Mangione, the brilliant programmer with a seemingly flawless past, was arrested and charged with the murder of Brian Thompson. Section 5. Unmasking the motive, a tangled web of possibilities. The question that haunted everyone was why? Why would a brilliant young man with a promising future throw it all away in a senseless act of violence? The investigation revealed a tangled web of potential motives, each more perplexing than the last. One theory centered around extremism. Mangione's online activity revealed a growing fascination with extremist ideologies, particularly those advocating violence against the wealthy elite. Had he come to see Brian Thompson as a symbol of the very system he had come to despise? Another theory focused on mental health. Friends and colleagues described a drastic change in Mangione's behavior in the months leading up to the murder. He had become withdrawn, paranoid, and prone to fits of rage. Had an undiagnosed mental illness taken root in his mind, driving him to commit an act he would never have considered otherwise? A third theory, the most sensational, proposed a corporate vendetta. Mangione had filed a patent for a revolutionary software algorithm, only to see a strikingly similar technology released by one of Thompson Investment's subsidiaries just months later. Had Mangione snapped, seeking revenge for what he perceived as a blatant theft of his intellectual property? Section 6. Corporate America on edge. A wake-up call for security. The murder of Brian Thompson sent shockwaves through corporate America. CEOs, used to operating within the confines of boardrooms and private jets, were suddenly forced to confront their own mortality. Security measures were immediately heightened. Bodyguards became ubiquitous, accompanying executives to meetings, social gatherings, and even on their morning jogs. Office buildings, once symbols of openness and transparency, transformed into fortresses with metal detectors, security checkpoints, and surveillance systems becoming the norm. The attack highlighted the vulnerability of even the most protected individuals. It forced corporations to rethink their security protocols, investing heavily in advanced security systems, cybersecurity measures, and threat assessment teams. The message was clear. In the wake of the Thompson murder, no one was safe. Section 7. The ripple effect, mental health in the spotlight. The case of Luigi Mangione brought the issue of mental health, especially within high-pressure environments like the tech industry, into sharp focus. Mangione's drastic behavioral changes, though seemingly overlooked by those around him, became a tragic reminder of the often hidden struggles of mental illness. The tragedy sparked a nationwide conversation about the importance of mental health awareness and support. Particularly in demanding and competitive fields, companies began investing in employee assistance programs, offering mental health resources, and promoting a culture of openness and support. Universities expanded their counseling services and launched initiatives to destigmatize mental health issues among students. The murder of Brian Thompson, while a horrific act, inadvertently served as a catalyst for change, prompting a long overdue conversation about the importance of mental well-being in all aspects of life. Section 8. From Promise to Prison. The tragedy of Luigi Mangione. The trial of Luigi Mangione was a media spectacle. The prosecution presented a compelling case, highlighting the premeditation of the crime and the overwhelming evidence against him. The defense, while acknowledging the digital trail, attempted to paint a picture of a man driven to the brink by mental instability. They argued that Mangione, consumed by paranoia and delusions, was not in control of his actions. In the end, the jury found Luigi Mangione guilty of first-degree murder. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The once promising engineer, hailed as a visionary in his field, was now a convicted murderer, his future forever defined by the tragic consequences of his actions. His story served as a stark reminder of the fragility of the human psyche and the devastating consequences of unaddressed mental health issues. Section 9. A chilling reminder, the unseen depths of the human psyche. The murder of Brian Thompson by Luigi Mangione is a story that continues to fascinate and disturb in equal measure. It is a story of ambition, envy, and the dark side of success. It is a story that lays bare the immense pressure cooker of the corporate world and the often overlooked importance of mental well-being. Was Luigi Mangione a cold-blooded killer driven by greed and resentment? Or was he a victim of his own deteriorating mental state, a cautionary tale of the fine line that separates brilliance from madness? The answer, like the depths of the human psyche itself, remains elusive. The case serves as a chilling reminder of the unseen depths that lie within us all. A stark illustration of the devastating consequences when ambition curdles into obsession and desperation pushes an otherwise ordinary man to commit an extraordinary act of violence.